Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Beyond the Skies. So, I figured out what my problem was, and that is that I put the Enver receptor on the top instead of the bottom. And so now it is happily melting stuff down. Also, what I have done is I was a little impatient with how much my bore was creating, mostly because I didn't realize that the item pipes have difficulty when you have more than one direction. The stuff just like stops at the intersection. So I fixed that, and you'll notice I have an ender chest over here. And hey, it's showing colors. I'm having trouble with the ender chests. They are not displaying the colors that they should be displaying. Also, I flew around a little bit, so I have a jetpack on. So I know you can't see it, but these are gray. And what it is it's just an ender chest from over there, and it's got ash piles, and the ash piles are going into here, which are going to this, and this is an orange chest. And you can tell that there is an overflow. So that is how much that is how much this overproduces. So it's not a super big deal. We're going to turn this off and stuff. Let's clear out my inventory slightly. I don't necessarily need all of these things. Anyway, this can also go away now that I'm thinking about it. So, we now have Ember going in here. So in order to, yep, see it's got one, and then I specifically put this on here so that it can filter, because I would like to keep the top one. I would like to collect the large crystals, because you can turn the crystals into shards, but you can't go vice versa. You can't go the other way. So at this point, we're making aspects. So in order to make the aspects, we take a shard, and we have the plate stamp, and then we do the metal. So we have the plate stamp. So we're just going to pop this out. We're going to place one. And numbers is very, very specific about numbers. So we want to place one there. Then we do this. And hopefully that worked. It did. So this you only ever need like one of each kind. And this is why we needed the pedestals. So all that does is this tells the exchange tablet which pedestal is which. That's all it does. It's a marker. It's pretty simple to use. We are going to need to make basically a giant laser cannon. But, you know. And I'm going to try really hard not to shoot myself this time. So another thing that I completely forgot to do is there's actually a giant battery in this mod. Let's see. And I forgot to look up what it was called again. There's also like a really great water tank. So mixer centrifuge, hearth coil. Is it the hearth coil? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Hearth coil. Okay. So it's not that one. Hearth coil is actually the, it's basically an oven. Reservoir is a liquid. It's the crystal cell. This is the one that we want. So we want dawnstone blocks and dawnstone plates. So let's head up to the top to make the plates. Yeah, because it doesn't have any cobblestone in it, of course. So dawnstone, put it here. It hasn't actually been all that long in game. We're just gonna make 32 plates for now. I looked some things up. I rearranged whatever. I made the bores. So yeah, it's been for me approximately 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, so the crystal cell actually looks really cool. It's probably one of my favorite blocks in the mod. So we're going to need one of these. And then we're going to need some ember shards. That's fine. We've got the ability to find ender shards somewhere. Reinforced. Do we have any? Okay, we don't have the. So we need one of these, and then we need a upgrade. One of these. So we'll make this just slightly faster, because we're using it a lot. Alright. That's probably enough for now. We'll come back and I'll come back and get the others later. So I made a home down here as well, just to save time. So let's go ahead and make the crystal thing. Crystal cell. So the crystal cell is a battery. Oh, we also need the beam splitter. Beam splitter. Alright. So what I'd like to do is have everything go into the crystal cell. And then from there, be sorted. So we're going to need to make a, let's get a piece of cobble. Because this again is one of the single block multi-blocks. This isn't exactly where I wanted it. I know, I'm being super picky for someone who's a mess. So let's do this, and we'll put it here. So, crystal cell. Those boots, though. So we need a core, because all of these need a core, basically. So now we need a receptor. I think we've got some. So now we're going to relink that to that. So I realize you're not going to be able to see too much from here. Let's do that. Is my jetpack charged? Okay, it is. So that's pretty cool, right? Now, one of the coolest bits is how much... So that must be full. So let's grab a couple of these. Now, I seem to recall it's N7. So that thing up there is actually worthy of having a gauge on. A dial, that's what it's called. So, does it have to be on here? Okay, so it holds 64,000. Now we're gonna grab a hopper really quick because we're gonna want to remove this at some point. Well, because it doesn't need to be on there forever. So if we take a bunch of ember crystals and we put it on there, if you'll watch, the amount that it holds goes up. And not only that, oh hi guys. But the crystal at the top gets bigger. Now this is a holographic crystal, so you can just walk through it. It's still cool though in my mind. Still cool. Alright. And then we are going to, like I said, we've got the beam splitters. So what the beam splitter does is, well, a little lower. Beam splitter. So you'll notice that it also has a setup like it looks like it's looking for receptors and emitters. So we can take a receptor. Oh, we need more plates, but I'll deal with that later. It's not a super big deal at this point in our life. I forget exactly how many can go in here, but there is a maximum size. Do we have an emitter? Okay, so we'll have to make some plates, but that will give us stuff. Meanwhile, let's make the rest of the aspects. So we've got the Dawnstone. Now we need silver, lead, copper, and iron. silver, lead, copper, and iron. Okay, so the process is basically the same. We pop that in there. We pop an ember shard in there, and then we wait. Once this is fully melted down, it stamps, and we've got the aspect. So, lead, silver, copper. Come on, melt faster. Alright, so now we pull the last one out of here. It does not matter which one you put them in. Like I said, it's just this thing identifying which pedestal is which. Now we get the beam cannon. And yes, they allow me to use a beam cannon. I do not know why. I wouldn't allow me to use a beam cannon. So we need 2 of the shards. So I'm a little dangerous when it comes to this thing. So oh wait, let's do this the smart way. Yeah, I'm a little dangerous where it comes to this thing. So I tend to do this so it's pointed directly down. Now you can reorient this using the hammer, but like I said, I'm a little dangerous. So stone receiver. So we're going to need 2 of these. And we're going to need 4 of these. So that, and then one of these. One, two, three, 4. Okay. So we put the receiver here, and then we right click it, channel set to 1, then we put it here, then we can get a wrench or something, any sort of wrench. This will probably work. And we rotate it. This one doesn't really need to be rotated, I'm assuming that I will probably be standing here. So now we need to run up to the top because I absolutely have to have a receiver at this point. So let's hop up home. Don't we have some, we need some chemite plates, right? So let's toss the dawnstone in there. Let's make a couple more of these. Let's cook that down. Get the rest of these plates in case we need them later. Alright. Come on. Make haste. Make haste. Alright. So let's pop back down to embers. I suppose theoretically I could have just made the basically the embers grill. Huh. Just put there. I'm sure it'll go away. Go away. Thank you. Receiver. Let's see, it's the ember. Receptor. That's what it's called. And then the emitter. So we can put the receptor here. And then we can put a emitter here. That is a receptor, not an emitter. An emitter there. And then we link that. Try not to fall in the lava. To that. And then we give it a lever. So now, each one of these things has like a little reservoir you can do. So now we can put the emitter there. We can make some more levers because we always need levers. Lever with an L. Because who doesn't need a million levers? So this now needs to go to that, and then we will link that to that, and now it's charging. So this is not a bad setup for a beam cannon. So all you really have to do, this doesn't actually need to be a lever, this can be a button. It's just easier, you know, for me, in my head somewhere, I guess. I don't know. So at this point, we can now do, so if we make a combustion chamber, let's look at the combustion chamber. So we can make this. So we're going to need 3 ember shards, a gunpowder, and then somewhere between 24 and 48 of, I think that's lead, copper, dawnstone. It doesn't have to be in the same order, but I think that if we line them up better, it may make the process easier. As far as being able to identify the colors. Maybe. So this is kind of a dull gray, that's more of a purple, and then silver. So silver's at the end. Okay, so I think that this is it. So, like I said, we're going to need 1 gunpowder, 3 ember shards, and an ember crystal. 1, 2, 3. And let's grab a gunpowder. If I were gunpowder, I would be in here. Now, this isn't all we're going to need. We're going to actually have to do this once or twice. And I'm actually just going to do this one right now because we can. So we want the ember crystal in the middle. Ember crystal in the middle, and each one of these spots corresponds to a side or the top. So now we have that, and now we need ash, and we need 24. It's going to be this one, and 24. So it is very important that you remember exactly how many of what you're putting in. So it's going to be in these two. So 1, 2. All right. Now we fire the beam cannon. Fire the... Okay, it takes a second. So it's pulling from the various aspects, and give it a second to fire, to process, etc. We probably got it wrong, because you always get it wrong the first time. I'm a little cheaty, though, because when you get it wrong, it's always the same wrong. So it's 24 and 24. So we put in 24, didn't we? I think we did. So it's got to be 48. So let's get some more of each of the things. One. Top. Side. 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 Gunpowder. Gunpowder. Okay, so let's grab some more. So we need 48. So we'll put 48. And hope for the best. Hopefully I haven't messed something up. Give it a second to fire. Turn that off. So the alchemical waste is basically useless besides telling you how far off you were. So you can either recycle it into ash with that, or you can just chuck it over the edge, which is probably what I'm about to do. Come on. Finish up. Alright. So, we now know that the ember cluster is 48 and 48. So if we make it again, I've got it written there, and we can do it. So that's how this works. It's as simple and as complicated as that. So we were trying to make what for the quest? A combustion chamber. So let's make that really quick. Throw down for one of these and a combustion chamber. So we now have a combustion chamber. So yeah, we've finished that. You've seen alchemy in action. Um, if you like the episode, leave a like. If you don't. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good night.